Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Dom Giordano, and welcome to Dom Time. Tonight, we look at an election that even the foreign press and anybody here in America said this wasn't just an election won by President Obama. As the Daily Telegraph said in their lead story, this was an election, they say, that changed the face of America. And when you look inside some of the voting blocks, you look at the gender gap, you look at the African-American vote, which we've seen election after election, but this time around, when you look at the Latino vote, you see startling figures. And we'll analyze all that, but we'll take your phone calls too tonight. We'd love to have you jump on board. The phone lines are open. We'd like to know, how are you feeling after the election that changed the face of America? Is that really the case? I have to tell you, when I was on the air, Talk Radio 1210, calling the election that night, I thought 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Here it was around 11:15 we're seeing the calling. Joining me to break down the election results in studio with me is someone from he's the Pennsylvania chair of the National Congress of Puerto Rican Rights, Miguel A. Concepcion Thomas. Miguel, welcome to the show. How are you feeling on election night? Latino voters are the most prized voter out there, both because of the number and because of the numbers that went to Democrats this time around.
Well, Don, thank you for the opportunity to come in and talk about what this election meant to Latinos. You know, when you look at the Latino numbers, it came out in an unprecedented form. And a lot of folks started having conversations, where are these people coming from? Mm-hmm. They were not expecting it. I think that to the surprise of many of us as well, who are also on the other side, we were thinking, are Latinos going to come out? Is the story this time around, will we be able to say that the sleeping giant has awakened? Mm-hmm. And I think that is certainly there. It is certainly...
well, it certainly was there when we take a look at the screen and we see the results, the Electoral College, if not a mandate or a landslide, certainly with Florida coming in, and we take a look at some of the other results, the voting rate by race, and we see that Latinos, 71% going for President Obama. Now, for listeners, and I want to talk with them about it, some Republicans, not I, but some Republicans now immediately said, let's just give amnesty. Let's just solve the illegal immigration problem with amnesty, which we did in 1986. I think that's a mistake, and it's kind of patronizing. Would you not agree to Latinos?
I agree, because if you notice what Latinos has been saying since 2006 is comprehensive immigration reform.
What does that mean, though?
So what it means is a pathway. Right now, our immigration system doesn't have a pathway.
A pathway to citizenship?
Right.
Now, if you come here illegally, though, why would you get a pathway?
Well, if you come in here illegally, then there are different ways in which this needs to take place, and folks needs to be reprimanded. There's penalties that needs to be paid, and then let's try to start getting these folks into a citizenship way. Because the problem that we currently have is that we don't have a pathway. So how do you begin to the process of becoming legal when there is no such process?
I wanted to stop here and take a look, too, at the Pennsylvania vote for a moment, because you're the Pennsylvania chair. And when you look at these numbers, I still maintain Pennsylvania can be and was a swing state. And it's amazing to me to see what's happened here. Do you have any sense of what happened here in Pennsylvania? We thought it was going to be very, very close. And Romney, although he did better, still ended up losing by 5 percentage points. Did see Latino vote went from, I think, 2% of the total vote to 4%. Went up, it doubled this time around.
Right, so Latinos went from a 6%, from a 3% to a 6%, almost right. A 50% growth within the last 2 elections. Now, here is what my take is on why Romney lost Pennsylvania as regarding to the Latino vote. I think that part of the problem was that they forgot that you have to embrace the voters. And they did it very well in the outsides, in the counties, but they didn't connect to the Latino voters. President Bush did it, McCain to an extent did it, and Governor Romney forgot about it.
All right, let's take some calls with Miguel here too at 866-472-8868. We'll take your calls next, and we'll continue talking about Latinos, women, and what the heck happened to Republicans. My name is Dom Giordano. Your calls and more of Miguel next on Dom Time.